Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. We are back at it again with the All Hallows League on Larry's Memorial Theater with Ghostface as the killer, Night Owls as the killer first. Already has found the Ada and gotten a hit already, wow. Running sloppy pop and pain res like the Wraiths were. Generally just a solid build, especially for Ghosty. Sloppy works particularly well on Ghosty, I think, personally. And that's already a down, wow.
Is that Calm Spirit on the Ada?
I think it is. Yeah, she didn't scream.
I mean, is she expecting spies from the shadows? I'm very curious about that build choice.
Looks like this is a Scourge Hook with how he cast.
It is, in fact, a Scourge Hook, and unfortunate positioning for the Ada there. Like, that's an extremely quick first down, and, you know, not being able to get distance towards one of the safe pallets on the map. This is a set where you have to play a lot more patiently, you know, hover towards safe areas until you've got confirmation on where the Ghostface is. As Ace is gonna, try and play that pallet, but Ghostface saying, you know what, I have you 99, that's an injury that you can't undo. I'm just gonna go find someone else, maybe looking for this Ada again, as now she's camping that God pallet in the library, and the other survivors just have to play a little bit more carefully here until they figure out exactly what the Ghostface's next move is going to be.
I liked the crouching around the corners to not get revealed there. That was slick.
We are seeing also, I'm very curious about this, in a lot of the Wraith games, we were seeing the survivors bringing this new light-footed perk, and it looks like Seth is deciding that he wants to run this on the Ghostface set as well, so I wonder if the survivors are finding a lot of value in hiding their footsteps on these indoor maps where, as the Ghostface runs right around the corner, jump scare.
Very clean read on the Ghostface part. I think light-footed is definitely a solid perk, especially in indoor maps like this. I find it particularly good if you run it alongside lightweight. But, looks like we have some gen progress being done and they haven't finished a gen at 2 hooks, but they do have decent progress on more than one generator.
Yeah, it's really difficult to get gen progress when the downs are just coming in so fast, as Ace gets found here as well. He does manage to remove the stock progress that was on him, so kind of a win for the Ace, all things considered. That could have been a down otherwise, and Ghostface with this, I believe it's called drop leg sheath or something like that. It's an add-on which gives him like 10%, I believe, movement speed for a couple of seconds after he marks a survivor. I believe that's part of what caught out the Jake there earlier, not expecting Ghostface to be downstairs and in his face so quickly after being marked while upstairs. His Ace also showing his quick and quiet here, so maybe suspecting a head-on from this player later in the game as the down comes down. Third fresh hook, third potential pain res coming in to really disrupt this generator progress.
And Ghostface is already doing very solidly, and this... While the survivors definitely still stand a chance, this could be a dominating performance already. But they seem to at least be getting gen done. Oh.
They do get one generator done, which is a pretty decent recovery, as Ada gets found again. Stock coming in, reveal coming in, but with the, leather, what's it called? The wallet here, Olsen's wallet, he's going to be able to get his power back immediately. Such a good add-on for this map. Second gen pops in the distance as Ghostface is going to try and see, you know what, maybe I should hover this hook here. He's got one survivor injured, another survivor stock about halfway, so it has to be the Fang coming for this pull if they want to get it off safely, but Ghostface getting revealed by the hook survivor, but just going to get his power back by kicking this pallet real quick.
Yeah. Olsen's wallet is quite a good add-on on this map, like you said, I agree. And that pop on that gen was quite good considering it's right next to the hook, and someone might have tried to sneak it before they went into, or sneak some progress on it before they went into stage 2. Speaking of which, that just happened. So that's already 2 hook stages for the gen blight.
We found the Fang, I believe. Yeah, Fang gets spotted here. A little bit of her leg there. She drops his pallet. Gonna get a little bit of safety here. This is a pallet that makes this loop quite safe. So the Ghostface is gonna have to break this eventually, but it looks like he's just gonna opt. That was a really fast reveal. I'm not sure how that happened.
Me either, but that was very well played by the Fang. And looks like... Okay, yeah, Ace took the endurance hit. Uh, this is a pretty decent pallet to get out of the way, considering its proximity to an exit gate.
Yeah, we're looking for this tunnel out on the ace here. He's got one health state left, and then he's down for the count. And Ada playing interference here, but looks like she's not quite willing to commit to the body block, as now he switches targets to the Fang, which I don't know how I feel about this. He is pretty close to getting her. Again, the reveal coming in super fast, denying these stock downs is going to prolong these chases quite a bit, but he does have that no-head to fall back on if these gens are popping in the distance, as probably the strivers are going to be looking to get that ace reset as quickly as possible to prevent a tunnel out.
Yeah, probably. I think... Well, obviously, if he finds Ace again, I believe Ace will just get killed. Right, he'll probably chase him till he dies on hook, but it seems they've successfully got the reset off, thankfully, so that will be significantly harder on the Ghosty now. Especially considering how fast they are at revealing him whenever he goes into stealth. It's really hard for him to get a full stock on anyone in one use of his power.
This set is honestly occurring way more fast-paced than you'd expect. Yeah.
Very good, Mark. Yeah.
So it's interesting to see how, like, this again. You normally expect this set to be a little bit more slow, more methodical, more patient, and Survivors and the Killer both playing a little bit more fast and loose and giving us a much more fast-paced Ghostface set than we're used to seeing. And the Survivors are making a pretty good recovery for how quickly those early downs were coming in. But Ghostface does have a topside 3-gen here, and he's going to catch out another Survivor. It is the ace, so one more down on the
person they want to be caught right now.
Yeah, and the chase happening near these generators is very unfortunate.
Very clean mind game there, using the crouch to hide behind the wall. Popping main gen, very reasonable.
I guess he wants to make sure that this 11 gen's not being worked on, which it is a little bit so.
Yeah, these 3 gens are kind of close to each other. Like, this could be a 3 gen if they finish that gen off in the distance. Looks like Ada's getting chased at this L wall. Oh.
Interesting.
Very nice.
I guess she just decided, you know what, take my hit, get away from that pallet. And now that stock progress is lost on her.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, that pallet's just kind of a dead end once you drop it, really. Hard to play around. No, it is still useful in many situations.
I mean, that pallet is technically a god pallet if you know exactly when to volley. You got your check spots on point, but, you know, if he does kick that, then there probably is nothing left for the Ada to run to, so, yeah. Oh, he hears Oof.
Oh.
Ace has got to get away from this.
Ace is 99, that's not good. He could very well go down here, and that would be him dead. Looks like he's...
leave. Interesting.
I mean, I think that's perfectly fair, considering Ace is 99. Oh, wow.
Jake
was looking behind him.
And we've got a god out here. But it's so weird, like, the Ace is probably calming, like, he saw the Ghostface, right? So Jake is, like, looking behind him when he knows that the Ghostface is on the other side of him. Very unlucky, but now we're going to see if the Ghostface can catch a Survivor out on one of these gens. He really ideally wants to get it down near these generators, and he finds the Fang, but immediately revealed. Just going to take the tag. You know, Survivor's going to have to reset in the distance as Ghostface makes sure that there's no one else working on these topside gens.
Yeah, but there's Sloppy in play, and also 2 of them are 99'd by his mark at the moment. This could be huge for Ghosty right now. This could spiral out of control for Team Shock very fast if played improperly.
Yeah, unfortunately there's nothing that you can do to, there's nothing you can do to undo that mark, so even though the Survivors are getting reset, they're getting healthy, you know, we've got 2 Survivors that are just as practically injured, but unable to do anything about it, as Fang gets found, and she is at least far away from the gen, so Ghostface is not going to commit to that chase, as he shouldn't. Going to go ahead and check back on these gens as just one more pallet out of the way, and now the other Survivors are going to have to make sure that they're, you know, stealthing around these gens, not getting spotted until they have exact confirmation of where Ghostface is coming from.
Yeah, definitely, and these 3 gens over here are quite close to each other, like I said earlier. So if they can't finish, if they have to finish that gen that's further away from them, this could look really bad for them.
Yeah, and this is the point of the game where it's really slowed down. You know, we had a lot of action in the beginning.
Ada used her
and
firecracker mid-chase. Okay.
honestly, respect.
Yeah. Unfortunately not one of the 99 ones, but nothing wrong with taking an injury and leaving. Looks like he's going back over to the further gen to... Oh,
No, he's committing to Ada. Interesting.
still chasing Ada, yeah. Wow.
This, I mean, maybe he's confident they're not going to get enough progress on the other gens, but, or maybe he just wants the hook onto Ada specifically. I don't know. She could be the last pain res, but I'm not sure. I think there already was. Oh, as a
both of them.
double
Wow.
pop.
Wow.
Not exactly ideal, but this is going to be the down onto Jake, as now Ace has to be very careful, and this was the gen that was far away from the other, so he's going to have to go back and let the mark wear off on Ace, let the unhook come onto Jake, and...
An unfortunate situation, but he did get a hook out of it at the very least.
And a pop, crucially, so if there is any progress on these, he can very quickly undo it.
This shit doesn't look like there's too much. This pop will undo most of it.
Yeah, that's probably going to be the signal that, hey, you know, I can go back to the bottom side of the map, back to where that hook was, to try and catch out wherever this reset is occurring, and possibly, you know, run into Ace along the way, who, I don't know, might be just hiding in a locker or something to try and stealth out this,
Yeah, you never know. Never know, especially in maps like this, where lockers are in every other room. Looks like Jake's taking a prot hit for Ada, which is perfectly fair.
The whole time.
Although,
working the gem.
yeah, he is quite far away from the generators, and he needs to probably play around them more, if I had to say. But I do understand he was just going for the people resetting. Let's see how much progress these gens have. It does not look like very much on any of them at all. And with two people injured, this is not the greatest situation to be in at the moment, especially since he still has one pain res token left. Looks like he found Fang at the L wall in the corner. Gonna go ahead and kick the gen. Since it's...
Yeah, that is the best spot for Fang to be in, at least, if you are worried about getting found. Just be somewhere safe, so that in case you get marked accidentally, then you've got some safety. And now Fang can take her distance to the bottom of the map, give her team an opportunity to pressure the remaining gens, but we'll see. Oh, she does the Godbud Library. She is chilling here.
Yeah, I was gonna say, probably just gonna break that and go back to the gens. He spotted someone. Oh, looks like Ada.
Yeah.
Ada could get marked here if she's not careful.
There's no stock progress at the moment, so...
True.
With all four survivors being up, again, we're seeing sort of a repeat of what we're seeing in some of those race sets, where having one survivor out of the game is such a big swing, and all these survivors are still up, even though two of them are close to death, so, you know...
Oh, there's the mark.
But is it gonna matter? Oh, Jay coming in for the hit. It is not quite enough.
Oh, yeah,
that's far away.
Ooh.
And this is mostly going to mean another pop if those gens are not close enough to being done. As Ada being chased, Jake coming in for the rescue. Now we know that there's only two survivors, and that is enough to get the last gen pop, but now there's the Noed coming in. They have to be worried about this, as they don't know what his fourth perk is.
This is very... Wow. Already getting massive value out of Noed.
And he has time to hook and go look for the other survivors. Like,
yeah, and they...
No gate progress.
They'll probably get...
Yeah, Ace.
They'll probably get some progress on the gate, but I don't think they can finish. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! He's getting stuck on so many corners. Okay. Still manages to get the hook. Larry's is just like that sometimes.
He's on so much trail. Is this? I think I saw blood on the ground. That might have been the Ada's trail. But
I also
they're just gonna leave. You know, they're all on death hook. There's not any benefit to trading a 1-for-1 here. It's the same hook stages, so. They're going to take the outs. This should be a 1k9.
Yep.
Which is definitely a respectable result. So we'll see from the killer for believe Team Shock, if they'll be able to top this as we go into the next Ghostface game here.
I suppose time will tell.
Actually, And we are jumping right back in with Game 2 of Set 1 between Shock and Night Owls. This time with Team Shock on the Ghostface against the survivors of Team Night Owls. And we are going to see Hex face the Darkness on the Ghostface. This will be very interesting to see if he gets value. As we see the survivors, you know, go ahead and starting out on these God pallets, just trying to stay safe against the stealth of the Ghostface in the early game, not wanting to get down super early, as we did see earlier, as now we're going to have some stalk onto the Meg, runs off in the distance, and now Ghostface is finding a different target. He might be losing the Meg's trail, but it looks like he's going to try and find someone else. Doesn't want to chase in the direction she's running, as now we're pathing to the library on the trail of the survivor here, but looks like not committing there. Going to check the top side of the map by these main building generators.
I think Face the Darkness is definitely an interesting choice, but Sloppy will make it easier to use because it'll be active more often. Looks like we're running around the library. Could not get enough stock, of course, since she hasn't been stocked at all yet, but that's Library God Palette out of the way already.
Yeah, and he is, you know, with the, what's it called,
Oh.
Also, Olsen's wallet, he's going to get his power right back, and now Yunjin is fully stocked, but he's not going to commit to a chase onto her. I wonder if he's concerned about one of these generators over here instead, and looks like rightfully so. There's a decent amount of progress on that generator. And
oh, wow.
Stalking Nancy,
He just pops it. Okay.
Yeah, it looks like
Fair
she
enough.
was a little unaware. Yeah. So now we're going to see, because Nancy does not have red light, it looks like she's safe enough at this pallet, but oh, not quite safe enough. So the down's going to come through, and with Yunjin also fully stocked and Meg being almost there as well, and now we're going to have a hook right next to the generator, so this progress is going to really suffer as they're not going to be able to finish working on that. That's not a pain rest, however, so it's still going to take a while to regress down, as these gens are very tightly packed, and there's progress on all of them.
Yeah, he could probably keep a 3-gen here if he wanted to. Nancy's already been unhooked by, who was that? I think it was Meg.
Most likely Yunjin, no? Actually, I don't know.
Okay, finds Nancy again. She dropped... That's a pretty good pallet to get rid of early, I think.
Yeah, but now she just has to make as much distance as she can away from those 3 gens, and Ghostface is not going to be able to commit to a tunnel out here because he's going to lose 2 of these generators in this tight 3-gen if he does commit to it, so he's not going to, and maybe he'll be able to catch out the Meg? But he gets revealed by the ace instead.
Yeah, I didn't even see the ace there. Oh, still gets the hit, wow.
I don't even think he knew Ace was there until he got revealed. And Medal of Man on the Ace is going to be spicy. We are seeing a lot of hit takes against the Ghostface, especially for exposed teammates, and we'll have to see if Ace gets any value out of this perk.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the Ace running Medal of Man and Head On. Those are very fun perks, of course. Wow.
Face of Darkness.
Yeah, really big Face the Darkness value, huh? You know, with 2 people injured. This is a pretty not amazing. Oh, already found Meg.
Oh, no God Palette.
Mark's been applied.
What?
I'm just gonna assume that was a misclick. It happens.
Yeah, even as a lunge, there's no way that hits. Like, you have like, you know, coup de grace level 4 or something.
Okay, very good drop by the Meg. She's probably gonna run off that way. Yeah.
It's the sign. She does have a God Palette here, but.
I definitely think she can play this long enough to either wear out the mark or find an opportunity to run away from this L wall here. Because while it is still a God palette and he probably needs to break it, she would get quite a bit of distance if he did so, and there's not that much time left on the mark, really. There's like probably less than 10 seconds now.
He's gonna leave.
Yeah.
Unlucky. And now, like, that's all of his pressure gone. All survivors healed. All the marks worn off. No more Face of Darkness coming in. Jen's popping in the distance. Like, It's a bit of a gambit to try and play that God palette and hope the survivor messes up, but it's just not paying off here as we're at, you know, only one hook state with 3 gens popped, and now not quite able to get any more stock progress onto the Meg. Although the Nancy's here as well, it's just doesn't feel like there's any winning plays here, and there's no Noed to fall on for the end game as that perk was replaced by Face the Darkness. So
that looked like Lithe to me. There goes the pallet break. Nancy really want to do this generator.
Cheeky blind there, and residual manifest. The weird part is you don't really feel like residual manifest is that useful as a way of removing killer auras, but part of it is the killer is able to see generator auras, and now he can't. So it's actually possible that that's the value of this perk on an indoor map like this.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, getting a little disoriented and trying to find those generators, same way survivors can struggle on this map.
Residual manifest is quite a guilty pleasure of mine for this exact reason. It's also since you can sneak a flashlight in a normal match, not competitive, of course. I wonder if they're gonna. Oh, Ace is already marked.
We do have the movement speed coming in from drop leg sheath, but it's not quite gonna work. And
yeah, that's a locker grab. Okay, gets rid of Face the Darkness. Speaking of which, I wonder if they'll actually bother looking for Face the Darkness whenever it's up. Doesn't seem like it's having that much of an impact on them, aside from that one time it hit 3 of them.
And there's an interesting kind of aspect of that perk here where I believe it only works if you're, you know, injuring the survivor and then leaving them, but if you're going for fully marked downs, I'm pretty sure it will not actually trigger.
It activates when somebody's injured and disappears when nobody's injured.
Yeah, so if you're going for the full down, it's not going to get much value. So yeah. I wonder how this stylistic choice would play out.
Nancy's 99 fully marked there, and that's Olsen's wallet value. Drops the good pallet near the exit gate.
Movement speed here not being quite enough to get the down on her as now. This is normal pallet playing, but no one coming in for
adrenaline.
Nancy.
Oh no, it wasn't. I missed.
No. There's no adrenaline for a tier 5 killer like Ghostface. No exhaustion head on.
I saw it wrong. Don't mind me.
Now the hook's going to Nancy, but this is definitely a rough outcome. I don't think there's a way that the Ghostface can recover from this. So I was probably just gonna leave. Yeah,
that's fair. Wow, quite a dominant performance by Night Owls on the survivor side of things, all things considered. Especially, you know, he only managed to get 1 pain res out that entire match. Well, he got a second one, but that was after gens were done, so it was pointless.
Yeah, Night Owl's definitely showing us why they picked this set for both their killer play and their survivor play, but in the next set we're going to see Shock opening up with the Mastermind set, so don't go anywhere and miss that.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. We are here at DBDLeague All Hallows Eve tournament again with Wesker on Wretched Shop. Shock playing first. So, what do you think about Wesker on this match, on this map, Cole?
I mean, it seems to be really dependent on, you know, where you get your good pallets and where you get your dead zones. And, you know, General Blight is a very, very good Wesker player, so these survivors have to be quite careful, and Yunjin is not messing around, just pre-dropping everything. Unfortunately, a little bit of a waste on her smash hit as she just stayed at the loop after dropping that pallet, but now General Blight is going to drop chase and try and find someone else. He is not interested in chasing that side of the map, and he's going to spot Felix, and no, it's an Ace in the distance here, and chase starting onto him is he going to think anything? Oh wow, completely different part of the map, and General Blight opting to play this pallet as Ace is a little bit out of source. He does get hit, smashed into the wall, and it's an auto-haven map. Is he able to get to anything? Maybe Fun Bus? Yeah, he will get to Fun Bus.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Not enough
that
distance.
Was crazy. I'm surprised he made that. Wow. Very solid. Considering the fact he even got Shack pallet before he started chasing that Ace. Very solid.
And Ace going to be put on that hook. It does seem to be the case that in all of these Wesker sets that we're seeing, it's pretty common for the killers to want to get a survivor like on that hook or one maybe a little bit closer to Shaq, but towards the middle of the map here to try and guard these gens that appear around the main building. Is he's got pain rest, he's got pop, and now he's gonna try and push survivors off the main generator that they have. Progress is Felix dropping and dodging out on that Wesker tentacle strike as Chase goes away. Tunnel in gonna come onto the ace here as the survivors are running out of pallets. But now Ace is just going to take his chase towards the bottom side of the map where Wesker did not want to chase before, so maybe we'll see if he's changed his mind about chasing over here.
Yeah, and even if Ace does go down, he does have D-Strike for a good bit at the moment. I think that lie that the fun bus was very good on his part. That got him away quite nicely. Yeah, I would just break the pallet here too. Looks like he's gonna go chase Felix, and they're just pre-dropping everything, rightfully so, of course. Oh, wow.
That is some Wesker skill right there. You love to see it.
You love to see it. That was phenomenal.
I mean, Jen's popping in the distance, but Felix is able to get somewhere that there aren't any gens, so this is, even if he's not able to make this last, which so far he is, this is a pretty good spot for Felix to go down if, you know, he has to.
Definitely, yeah, I agree. There he goes. Felix ran him as long as he could, even after that god flick he did.
Yeah, now we get pain resistance here, most likely, yeah, there's gonna be pain resistance onto Felix. Now the survivors need to be looking to break one of these gens around the shack, as there is progress on this one, not a whole lot. You know, gonna consume the pop there, as maybe there's more progress on these other generators. We'll have to see if Nancy is going to be able to take her chase further away from these, as she's at least trying. Dodging the second bound there.
Oh, looks like we are taking him through the 4 lane. Drops, gets hit and takes the pallet stun. Not an ideal situation, but Nancy is running past Fun Bus now.
And Nancy is the smash hit player, so she is getting a lot of distance with that one pallet stun, so she does make it to the next one. And remember, the survivors needing to pop a gen around Shaq, Nancy is exactly where she needs to be. She can just throw all of these pallets. They don't care about this side of the map.
Yeah. Yeah, you're totally correct there. Oh, almost. Yeah, Nancy's going to be able to make quite an amount of distance off of that. She is pre-dropping everything in sight, and rightfully so.
And we'll see if she can play this pallet. This is normally a pretty safe pallet against M1 killers, but, you know, Wesker has the ability to try and play around it with his mobility. And if anyone can do it, it will be General Blight. Yeah, Nancy with the fancy footwork.
These bounds are really close, even if he's not hitting them. I'm still impressed by them. Like, genuinely. I have to imagine they have quite a substantial amount of gen progress on the other side of the map by now.
Yeah, for sure. And a hook onto Felix here, getting a pain res would be nice if he can manage to do it before the gens actually pop.
Solid grab. Hopefully this will be a Scourge hook for Wesker.
He should be able to get it, but and that gen popping the distance is not really that big of a concern. You know, it's not okay. Well, that gen is a bit of a concern, as now that also means the pain res was not able to go off in time. Pop gonna be wasted, and now we're hoping to get it.
Wow,
that is disgusting.
Yeah, General Blight is really freaking good at this character. Yeah, and he still has 2 pain reses left, although... Okay, 1 pain res left, but he almost has 4 stacks of No Way Out already.
And he'll have quite a few survivors. He'll have, I think, 2 survivors on Death Hook, or close to it now. It'll only be 1, but going into endgame, you know, No Way Out potentially being able to get just enough time to secure an extra hook, an extra kill maybe, to salvage some of this. As Felix gets grabbed immediately.
Yeah, very impressive M2s here, especially at the Fun Bus. He's just leaving a lot of these pallets dropped because he can still play around them.
That's
now
the
he breaks
death on the Felix. we're definitely seeing like what happens when there are no pallets between you and the Wesker. It's just a guaranteed hit every time if the Wesker player can hit them, and it's happening here now. So these remaining 3 survivors definitely going to have to be very concerned about whether or not they can make their chases last as long as they were in the beginning of the match when they had resources to work with.
Oh, wow. Very nice smash hit. That'll give her tons of distance. Looks like he's just popping that gen, yeah. This is kind of the exact opposite of a 3-gen, but if anyone can handle it, it's probably Wesker.
Definitely, yeah. These generators being as far removed as they are makes it a lot more difficult for him to actually pressure these, especially without Pain Res being able to, pressure these generators remotely when he gets these hooks. And now the hit onto Yunjin is going to come through, and she's kind of close to 2 of these gens, but the survivors could be working in that generator in the distance in the meantime, and we'll see if Yunjin's able to last long enough now with what resources she has left, which is just this drop pallet, and it's but the adrenaline!
Wow, that was a perfect adrenaline.
That's perfect timing, but now the no way out coming in, there should not be a way that Yunjin can outlast this entire no way out. A full 48 seconds of these gates being blocked is... There's not much else for the survivors to do except maybe... they can. And this is his last fresh hook. So this is going to be so rough as now Yunjin can get hooked in this area without very many pallets. It's going to be very risky to try and save her. And if he finds this last survivor over here, I don't remember. He might have known that this was the gate that had no way out triggered on it. If it was, there is a survivor over here who is trying their hardest. Oh, he sees them. I believe it's the Nancy.
Yep, sure looks like it. Can he? No, he's not even gonna bother with that bound. Structures like this are kind of... Obviously, it's not as much of an issue for General Blight, but structures like this are kind of hard to M2 around as Wesker.
And here comes... Sorry, go ahead.
Sometimes it's even impossible to M2 around structures as Wesker, like that one's almost impossible, but as you were saying...
And here comes kind of an interesting proposition for the survivors. They got the adrenaline onto the Yunjin, but you almost wonder if it would have been preferable for them to wait to trigger that adrenaline until after she was hooked so that now we wouldn't have an injured Yunjin running around.
Yeah. Going for the gate. It looks like she's gonna sprint burst away. Yeah, especially if somebody gets hooked there again, this gate is going to be very difficult to get anyone out of. She looks like might be out.
Performance in
They're probably gonna take their outs. He's gonna push them out either way. Yeah, they're gonna take it out. So this is gonna be the wrap up for this game, and it looks like we're gonna have a 2K8 for this Wesker. So pretty strong result going into the next game.
I definitely agree with that. Some of the bounds this match were kind of crazy. A lot of the time I didn't expect him to hit them, and then he just picked them up anyways.
Yeah, I gotta say, for a Wesker set, General Blight is not an act that I'd want to follow.
Me either, personally, but let's not discredit the other team entirely.
Absolutely. So stay tuned for the sequel to this game coming right up. And we are back with Game 2 of Set 2 between Shock and Night Owls, now with Winter Edit playing the Mastermind for Night Owls against the survivors of Team Shock. And it will come as no shock to anyone that Gen Blight put up a great Western result himself. So we have a tall order for Winter Edit as the first chase comes in. Going ahead and taking chase near Shack with brutal strength, going to chew through these pallets very quickly to get these shorter chases and try and make up for the result that he has to meet, as Claudette's just dropping everything, does not want to take any risks against this Wesker.
Yeah, already dropping Shack pallet and using her firecracker, although he did avoid the firecracker. Being taken a fun bus, dropping the fun bus pallet. Ooh, that's 2 really good pallets already out of the way for Winter Edit right now. Oh.
Yeah, she does dodge the second bound there, so maybe we're going to see a chase break, and yes, we are, as Wester's going to go ahead and say, you know what, I want to take chase towards top side of the map, secure my gens here, as Ace abusing that
Wow.
window vault.
Wow. Yeah, I love doing that against Wesker.
So now Winter Edit is going to drop chase yet again, try and find a different survivor, caught out a little bit more, and I don't think he's going to be able to, yeah, he does not get the angle onto Feng here, but now this window that she just ran past is the only bit of safety that there is in the main building, so she's going to have to go for this pallet, but she greets it and she's going to get hit for it.
Very solid slam. Let's see if she can run to anything. Well, there's bus, but the pallet's gone, so...
She's running to the one side of the map where she has nothing. Well, she's got a... And I don't think there's a pallet in this tile, as everything bottom side has already been used. She does have this pallet. Does get the stun. That is absolutely necessary, as 2 gens pop in the distance, but now this side of the map is where the main generators to be progressed are, so... Feng kind of needs to get away from this, because if she's downed here, the Wesker will be able to pressure the hook and the gens at the same time.
Yeah, that and Corrupt Intervention just ended, so they actually can start doing those gens. And if Feng gets hooked here, like you said, it could be pretty devastating for Team Shock. Wow.
He is playing this, you know, quite safe and not giving up that hit, but unfortunately for her, she doesn't really have anything else to work with, so... But she completely reads where the Wesker's going to go, and she's going to get even more distance, as Wesker now just has to drop chase and find someone else. This is not going the way he's really hoping for it to go, as we've got a relatively safe pallet here, this bust, but the hit comes through anyway, yeah.
It's a hit and the pallet. Feng just cleaned herself with the spray. Looks like she's taking him to the truck. Oh, no, just running straight past it. Probably a good thing against a Wesker. Can't imagine that's a good loop against him.
These survivors doing a very good job of putting some obstacle between themselves and the Wesker for a second bound, as now Claudette goes down, but is there a survivor with a flashlight around? I'm curious what the motion was for.
Feng's been healed to full. Looks like he's going for the Scourge hook. Rightfully so. This is his first hook.
Yeah, we're gonna get a hook in the middle of the map, and we'll see if there's any extra gen progress coming through, as there was some resetting going on.
There's a loud noise.
Yeah, no pop either, but there's not a whole lot of resources left for these survivors, so maybe with this situation being what it is, the Wesker will be able to, you know, pick up some faster downs with the resources being chewed through.
Very nice. General Blight showing he knows what to do against his own character. Looks like he's gonna run to the palletless bus. I don't... Okay, yeah. Enough line of sight blockers for him to be unable to dash that way.
Yeah, there is this pallet here, but...
Did the pallet drop?
It did.
Wow.
That's a little buggy. Yeah, I wonder how that looked on General Blight screen.
Yeah, that was funky. Well, that's another pain res. And looks like he's going for Jake. Jake does have smash hit, so although he is running to the side of the map with no pallets at the moment.
What a great time to have smash hit when your team has used the other pallets for you. But there is one here. Now, this is not a very safe loop, especially against a Wesker, so
yeah,
this is very mind-gameable. If Jake is obviously looking for the stun, he's not going to get it. He will get the flashlight line, but will that be enough to get him anywhere? And this chase is happening near that gen. No, no. Not enough. That could have been egg value. I'm just saying.
Could have been. Could have been. Takes time one. All things considered, Seth is doing a pretty good job of not getting M2'd here.
And this is exactly where he needs to be. All those active gens are on the opposite side of the map. As long as Jake dies in this corner, you know, sooner or later, doesn't really matter. He's where he needs to be, and the survivors on his team will be able to get much progress as they need. But there will be Noed coming in on this endgame, and we'll see if that will be able to help recover where this is going. As Jake finds a nice, cozy corner to die in, makes the Wesker whiff.
Aw, yeah, comp corner, baby.
We love this rock. Oh no.
We love this tree.
And that's 2 separate gens being worked on in the distance, and Pain Res should be coming through on the Jake, but will that actually be enough to stop either of these gens from popping? We'll have to see.
I think so. Sure looks it. No progress on that one. Doesn't look like there's progress on... Oh. Yeah, on that one there's some. How's Shack-Gen looking? Jake has been unhooked, and I believe he has eyes on Claudette, I saw... No, Fang.
These Jenners are all so... Like, yeah, she just has to run. She's just running away from these gens. She doesn't even have to make this chase last super long. With 3 other survivors up and so much gen progress, it's only a matter of time before these last gens pop, and, you know, Fang eats a nice fat Noed.
Yeah, I was gonna say, the Noed can definitely potentially get him at least 1 kill that he shouldn't otherwise. And Jake got the adrenaline heal, although Fang's the one currently in chase. Oh, very nice pallet stun.
These survivors are definitely playing these chases out mechanically very well. You can tell they're used to playing against General Blight's Wesker.
Nice. Very solid dash. Are they just gonna leave? Yeah?
Probably.
Okay.
They've got enough to win. They don't need to risk the Noah that they're probably expecting, since, you know, they didn't have a no way out. So.
Yeah. Fair enough.
And even with the fresh hook on Fang, that's only going to be a 1k6 for Winter Edit. So that will tie up our match 1-1, and we will be going into a Xenomorph set.
Aw, yeah.
I love how the chase music is still playing, also.
He's dramatic, that's why.
Here for it. You gotta play that chase music for 7 more minutes, you know?
Definitely.
So yeah, that is Shock tying up the set 1-1, so we will be back with Night Owl starting off with the Xenomorph to decide who will take this match. Do not go anywhere.
Good morning, afternoon, and evening. This is Joann coming at you live with some Xenomorph gameplay from Shock right now. Or, sorry, Night Owls, I believe. And I haven't actually seen Comp Xenomorph yet, personally. So I'm very interested to see what the killers will be able to do with the tail, personally. Like, I'm just imagining the dragging they will be doing over rocks and whatnot.
Yeah, definitely an interesting, you know, mechanical opportunity for both sides to play around that. I'm also curious, you know, we have these flamethrowers as sort of the main counterplay towards that tail, which is not exactly easy to dodge, but it'll be interesting to see how the survivors place their flamethrowers, if they're going to preset them in a location to make it a safe zone, if we're going to see any survivor trying to drop a flamethrower near a chase to, you know, relieve the survivor who is being chased. But right now, we're just seeing an M1 onto the ace, not even going to try to go for that tail hit. As the flamethrower comes in, it's not enough to knock this one. Yeah, so we're going to stay in the tail mode, as Ace does get quite a bit of distance off of it, and this loop is on this window is quite good, but the window's been broken, so this should be enough to get another hit here, as the flamethrower is up once again.
Yeah, I think it's possible that while they can definitely bring flame turrets to allies in the middle of a chase, it would be difficult to... Wow. Okay, that just went over her. I love this thing. It can be difficult to drop a flame turret in the middle of a chase because of how slow you are with it, and that you can't run, and you're also exhausted until you drop it.
Sure. We're definitely getting the full tour of the main building here, as I believe it's one of these helmet add-ons that makes it so that you really don't have to care about those flamethrowers as much. We had like 3 full loops around that main building before the flamethrower actually mattered.
Yeah.
Ace is going to get zoned here in the corner, and that might be enough to secure the down onto him, but the hill is kind of in the way as he gets to this other tile.
Winter doesn't have tail at the moment either, so it would still be difficult to get him even with that. Also, that pallet that was dropped was right by the exit gate, so that might come in handy later.
Yeah, and we are back to main building. This time, Ace chasing in the direction with the better vault, so Winter's just going to drop Chase and find someone else as he gets the tail mode back, and Fang is going to take Chase near this, I think I call it the Burger King tile, but not enough to get the Firecracker blind as Chase continues onto her. She's just going to take that M1, try to get distance to a safer tile, and it looks like she'll be able to get to a filler pallet here, but she might get hit by the tail attack before she can drop it.
It's definitely possible. I mean, I've seen what people can do with dragging that tail. Probably goes down here, yeah. The only way she wouldn't have gone down there was if the killer whiffed horribly, I think.
And we're seeing mostly M1 hits coming in, so I wonder if Winter's just deciding, you know what, it's not worth to try and go for the tail hits and use it mainly as a zoning tool to, you know, go for a tail hit if you get it on a window vault or a pallet drop, but otherwise going for that more secure M1.
Yeah. I mean, if you don't have to use the tail, I suppose there's not that much reason to use it, but they also haven't put Winter into too many situations where tail might be horribly useful, and when they have, he didn't even have tail at that moment, I mean.
Yeah, I feel like one of the things that we've been seeing from this map, you know, pretty consistently, especially on our Wesker sets, is most of what resources the survivors have to work with is pallets, not a whole lot of windows, and that might be a factor in the Xenomorph not going for many window hits with that tail. This is honestly one of the first games we're seeing where the window on main is getting much value, but that might also just be how Wesker plays, and Xenomorph going ahead and breaking chase, trying to find someone else to pressure as that gen pops, so...
Oh. Looks like... Still hasn't broken that pallet, which kinda... I mean, it's not the greatest pallet in the world, but I would personally break it. And again, I'm not a pro player. Oh, that was a nasty stab. That was foul. Props to Winter for that.
Yeah, but now we're back on the, you know, running laps around main building until the Xenomorph catches up, so... Come on, break it. There we go.
Very good pallet to be getting rid of, especially when there's 3 gens left.
It looks like there's a decent gen split here as well.
Yeah?
So... I don't know, like this
There's a flame turret
game is coming out pretty slowly as... I don't know, this killer is not seeming to be as lethal as Wesker has been on this map, as survivors are, you know, not being as pressured to drop pallets as quickly. These flamethrowers are really slowing him down as well, as Jake gets through this 4 lane and he's not even been hit yet, so this will be a much slower down, as surely we're going to hear a gen or 2 pop in the distance before Jake will be downed.
Probably, yes. I mean, I would be surprised if they haven't been working on generators this whole time. Very nice pallet stud, not even giving Winter the chance to tail stab him. Looks like he's just gonna keep looping this as long as he can. Maybe in M1 or tail. He doesn't vault.
Double tap? No, it will not be double tap on the Jake. But, you know,
Quite
with the tail stab attack on this 4 lane and no flamethrowers around, this is not a very safe place for Jake to be. So we'll see if he can extend it. That might have been lucky break on the Jake. Yeah, we see no scratch marks. We see no blood. Jake definitely put in that lucky break to good use to try and evade the killer for a bit.
Yeah, I definitely can agree with that. Yep, but looks like he's been found again. And that's barely didn't reach. And check pallets dropped. I feel like a dropped shack pallet is something you would want to keep up as a Xenomorph. Just because, like, if they vault over it, you can stab them. Usually. I mean, provided you're close enough to the survivor, of course.
Yeah, this is still looking pretty rough. I mean...
Oh yeah, for sure.
These are just taking way too long. Yeah, we got 4 gens popped. We do have Noed coming in, but... You know, maybe we'll secure an extra kill off of that, but it's going to be a rough time trying to get it down onto Ace here. You know, we've been chasing Ace at main building for a good chunk of the game, and it's not really getting the results that Winter is going to want. So I think a little disoriented here, not quite sure where Ace has gone. Maybe behind this car, and yes, that is where the Ace has been, but still going to have the window and more laps around main, and I don't know if Winter is just going to want to leave him here. No, he's going to commit, and Ace does have pallets here. He's got this filler. If he can make his way to that drop shack pallet, which was not kicked earlier, he can prolong this chase. And unfortunately, even with the Noed coming in, you know, having Noed against an injured survivor is not what you want. You can hide it with the tail attack, but you have to get this down and this hook really quickly before that gate gets opened. And Ace is buying as much time as he can, and it is going to be quite a bit, as those gates are pretty far away. and we're not slugging, so...
If nothing else, at least Noed provides extra move speed for your tail stabs, as small of a consolation as that is. He can't be taken to basement because of the dropped shack pallet. Wow.
It is a fresh hook, but yeah, the survivors can... Honestly, with that only being the second hook of the game, it's very comfortable for Savage just leave, and they are going to leave, ending this game on a 1k4, hatch opening the distance, but it's not going to matter. And now going into the last game of this match, a 1k5 win condition for the killer for Team Shock is going to be very comfortable.
Yeah, it's definitely more than doable for the killer, but I'm not counting out the survivors yet.
Absolutely. Not the strongest first showing of Xenomorph that we've seen, but hopefully we'll be able to see a little bit more of a convincing game going into this last one. So stay tuned for the final game of the evening. Alright, welcome to the final match for today. We have General Blight playing Xenomorph for Team Shock against the survivors of Teams Night Owl to decide this set. So we have an immediate hit onto the Felix as General Blight is not messing around. Pallet is pre-dropped, but Felix getting interrupted with the flamethrower is going to be very unfortunate as there's not going to be any cover for him as this... Oh, it's a Yunjin, I'm sorry. So very fast down onto Yunjin.
Yeah, that was incredibly fast, especially for Xenomorph. Wow, and great job by General Blight already. Let's see, probably just gonna look around at generators for a... Oh, there's a flame turret.
Yeah, and this is kind of exactly where he wants the hook onto Yunjin to be. He's got a decent gen cluster over here, and Painter's going off, but... Oh no, not going off. There was no Painters on that hook, so he does have pop, but he's gonna chase Felix off to Shack over here, and as Adam and Nancy pop a gen in the distance, we saw them doubling it earlier as this... Pre-drop on the Shack pallet, protecting Felix for now, so we're just going to go ahead and tunnel. Not kicking that. Very interesting, as I'm going to guess he's going to go straight back to hook and maybe secure this tunnel out onto the Yunjin, as now we know, okay, I had this person hooked, I had this person in chase. That had to be a double on that gen, so no gen progress anywhere else is a pretty cozy position for General Blight.
Looks like Fun Bus pallet has already been dropped, and I'm kind of surprised that Blight chose not to break Shack pallet and instead went directly for the tunnel, but it makes sense. Like, he just wants... Oh.
Ooh,
wow, that was clean.
Fancy feet.
Yeah, for real. That was very clean on Nancy's part. Is he gonna continue chasing, or... let's see.
We're definitely seeing a lot of value out of this green helmet add-on, which makes it so the Xenomorph doesn't really have to care too much about the flamethrowers as long as they react to it in time. And this might be a tail hit onto Nancy, so we have another fast down onto Nancy. General Blight showing us what Xenomorph tail attack can do around these pallets.
Yeah, again, we've been seeing a lot of wretched shop today, and again, a lot of the pallets on this side of the map are just getting chewed through by the killer already, including important ones like Shack and Fun Bus. That was a pain res, thankfully, so there's some regression that happened now.
Yeah, this map in general today has been really a test of how much gen progress can the survivors get before those pallets on the map are exhausted, because once that happens, they really don't have many strong windows to work with, and the downs are coming in super quickly as we're going to see Yunjin being chased now, hiding behind the flamethrower. It will not be enough to kick Xenomorph out of his power, as Yunjin is now going to have to play this corner pallet, which is not going to be very good against the Xenomorph tail attack, but she is making the most out of it, as we have a Felix nearby, it looks like. So if Yunjin decides to go down on this pallet, he's going to have to be very careful about picking her up, and Yunjin is probably going to go down here to the M1, yeah. Doesn't quite make it to the pallet. She can probably get vacuumed away, but we do have Adam still hovering as Yunjin does make it to the pallet, so Adam dodging that tail hit, but honestly, he just needs to cover in the area to prevent that pickup onto Yunjin, but maybe not. General Blight just says, you know what, I'll just take you instead. I don't have to be particularly picky. Adam goes down.
Very nice tail attack before he could round the corner. This could potentially be another pain resonance as well, and it's
I think with the flamethrowers being in play, that Adam is getting a little bit too comfortable playing with fire, as that definitely is backfiring there.
Yeah, I mean, General Blight's already faring better for themselves than Winter was.
Oof. Now we have the
Because-
res revolt.
Already has 3 stacks of No Way Out, and half the pain res use is gone. And Firecracker expended at Fun Bus, and it didn't blind the Xenomorph, but it seemed to have allowed her to buy enough time to get to the window. She goes down, yeah.
Oh, and Nancy not coming in quite fast enough to get that body block, but she is here. We do see the flashlight on the Nancy, so once again, have to be a little bit careful about picking up the survivor here because they have a teammate nearby. As Nancy takes a tag and is gonna leave. Probably doesn't want to risk going down.
I wouldn't either.
This is gonna second him to Yunjin, so this tunnel out could occur, and with this 4th hook, that is at least a tie coming in, so the survivors have to somehow save Yunjin and then also not give any more hooks while 2 more gens and some stacks of No Way Out are in play. So very, very difficult position to be in for these survivors.
Yeah, they're really gonna have to pull something in order for this Xenomorph to not just get more hooks than the prior one. And I think it's possible, but unlikely, especially considering Adam's injured here.
And this side of the short wall is not very safe, so this is just so rough. I mean, playing around this tail attack, no flamethrower, no teammates around to cover for you. Adam is going to have a really rough time trying to play here, and yeah, he should not be able to make anything. Even with an M1, this is going to be curtains for Adam, so this is going to be enough to secure a win for this set and the match for Team Shock, but as we continue, we're going to see if we can see some more, Xenomorph mechanics, some more sick tail hits around these pallets on this map.
Yeah, General Blight's usage of the tail has generally just been very solid this match, especially in regards to hitting people through loops that they normally wouldn't be able to.
Back on Adam.
Might just tunnel Adam out, yeah. Pallet's still here, but...
Yeah, honestly, the best way to go about this, I mean, getting a 3v1, we'll have No Way Out in the endgame. Oh, Adam might be able to get some distance with this, but we'll see if he... Looks like he just wants to stay at this pallet. I guess he figures there's not a whole lot else that he can go to if he keeps running that way. We will be seeing, this could be DS on Adam.
Could be. Yep.
It is. Alright. And now with that last generator popping, Adam's still in chasing. We'll be waiting for that No Way Out to proc in the distance, as Adam is being chased by one of the gates, so as we do see No Way Out triggering off in the distance, but Adam has nowhere to go, no more DS.
And that's General Blight out of the... or, not General Blight. Oh, wow.
Flashlight.
Not out of the match.
Save.
Yeah. Quite huge.
But Adam will be able to, go back to this pallet he's been looping for what feels like most of the latter part of this match, as No Way Out is wearing off in the distance, and the survivors will be able to open that other gate as long as Adam can just keep him occupied here. But Nancy and the flamethrower coming in, they might actually be able to get Adam out if with enough body blocks. There's
it's
not
possible,
a whole lot. Yeah.
The
The whole squad is here. Let's go. Very quick reactions on the Adam to dodge that tail hit, as Nancy coming into bodyguard, Felix coming into bodyguard, still with the flashlight on the Nancy, maybe going for another save, and interesting hitbox.
Yeah, that was an unfortunate hit on the truck.
No, honestly, with survivors running into this area with flamethrowers, it doesn't particularly matter which player that General Blight hooks. After all, ideally, you almost want to get a survivor who doesn't have, who is not on death hooks, so you might be able to secure more hook stages out of them, where, Adam being dead is not worth as much, but it looks like the survivors are definitely trying to go for a 4-man out here, as Yunjin might get double tapped here, yeah, and she will with the M2 into M1, but Nancy could be around with that flashlight to save her like she had done for the Adam, and it looks like she will not be, maybe saw her foot off there in the distance, but not in position to get the flashlight saved, so Yunjin's gonna get hooked, and that is the death onto Yunjin, as the other survivors are going to be able to escape here. We see 2 in the gate, but possibly 1 more somewhere else on the map.
If I had to guess, he's either making his way to that gate or opening the other one. Yeah.
Okay. So with
That looks
this,
like a 3 out.
yes, it will be a 3 out, and it looks like a 1K6. But either way, that is enough to secure this set win and the match win for Team Shock over Night Owls. And